A feel-good show starts with a pleasant morning, Mazino.
Yes, indeed, that's what they say. And that's why we are here every single morning to serve you the very best entertainment fit for kings and queens.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you, our viewers, are the real MVPs. And rising every morning to the sound of our voice is what we live for. And that drive is what gives us that, motivation to keep working harder and harder and harder to keep serving you.
Yes, indeed. Like she said, hard work is actually the watchword, and that's why we put in extra effort to blaze your mornings with the very best vibe.
We're not doing this alone, of course. We've got, you know who.
Good morning, Thursday morning. How are you guys doing? How did you manage a cold night? It was a very cold night yesterday.
Excuse me, wait, sorry, I don't get it, Mike. You're asking married people. We should be asking you this.
Right?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Some of you are sleeping different.
Wow.
Well, guys, how are you doing?
We're doing well.
We're good.
We're good.
All right.
All right, it's Artsy Thursday, and of course, we have a super amazing packed show for you today.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to another special edition of your #1 feel-good breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Endeavor to stay with us, please, through the entire show. We've got the next 1 hour, 45 minutes to spend on your screens. My name is Emeo Kwache.
And of course, my name is Mazino Pio. Remember that you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
We would like you to also download our app on any Android and iOS phone and send in your comments across all our social media platforms at TVC Connect.
Now, let's let you guys check out what we have for the show today.
Imagine a world without art. Joining us today for a mini exhibition of artworks is Michael Ogu, fondly called Mo. A man of many fortes and passion. Mo is an OAP, art lecturer and an advocate. He'll be here for art display later on.
Emma Modi, actually, is his name, also known as Ratata. Welcome to a Thursday edition, and boy, what a Thursday it is. It is, first of all, very, very cold out today. It was really cold yesterday. The rain fell with no warning. No breeze, no wind, nothing, just boom.
Wow. Yeah, so in my area is a very interesting place because the rainfall is not normally the way it is in other parts of Lagos.
I don't understand. This
So when I came in there, when I moved in there, some years back, they told me like, the whole rain for you. I'm like, nah, forget that rubbish. It doesn't happen. But believe me, when you look at, so this is me being very, very statistics based. When you look at statistics and everything, in about 5-6 years I've been there, there's something about that place and rain.
It must be your neighbor.
As in, so because
maybe she
you
doesn't
know there's a part in Lagos that it rains.
You can save it. She's very cold, so maybe if you try warming her up sometimes.
Oh, nice.
Nice. But maybe Lekki might have something like this.
Nice.
Tell you what happened just before the rain. I saw my very first full episode. No, not episode. It's not called an episode.
I thought we were saving that. I thought we were saving that conversation for what's up about.
It's not an episode. It was the first time I
football.
sat down through 90 minutes of a football match.
Oh, it's a football match.
Yeah, it was football. I was talking about
okay.
football match, and for the first time I actually saw why Ronaldo is called Ronaldo. You know, and by the way, on that match,
What's the trying to talk about how Ronaldo is? What I was
please give me a break, Mike. For the first time, let me tell you what. For the first time, I actually saw why he's so, and on that match he also equalized. No, did he? He met the world record for. He scored both goals. Thank you very much.
Yes, you won the match.
And he also equalized the world record for number of goals.
You tried.
Mike, get out of here.
Let's give you 68%.
Anyways, the only thing that I have to say about Cristiano Ronaldo is that he's very good looking.
It's about the sport, Emma. Come on.
I don't care.
Plus, you're wearing a ring.
I don't care about that.
Mike, sorry you.
Forgive me. There are some people, let me call them Trevor Noah. Can you read?
It's okay. Shh.
If they enter here.
It's okay, Mike. Off your mic. Let's do the weather, but we already know what the weather is like. Mike's neighbor is very cold, but let's just check out what it is like in your part of the world, or Nigeria. Welcome for a Thursday. It's time for the news now. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now, we begin with politics. And ahead of the November 6th governorship elections in Anambra State, former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has emerged as the candidate for the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. Now, Professor Soludo, in the primary election held at the Professor Dora Queenly Women's Development Center in Oka, polled a total of 740 votes out of 792 votes cast. Other candidates, Chukudili Ezenwako, got 41 votes. Thank God Ibe garnered 10 votes, while Okolo got 7 votes. Chairman of the electoral panel and Vice Chairman Southwest Samson Olarere commended the resilience of the aspirants, saying each one of them is capable of winning the governorship election, but was necessary that the best be chosen. Speaking immediately after the declaration, the governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, assured the candidates and members of the party that the party would again win the election come November. The election took place despite controversy rocking the party after a faction led by Judo Keke accused the Victor Oye-led faction of alleged refusal to submit the statutory 21 days notice on the Special Ward Congress to the Commission. Moments after being declared the winner of the primary, Professor Soludo commended other aspirants for participating in the process and urged their partnership for the good of the party and the state. The now APGA candidate for the election thanked the leadership of the party for the confidence it reposed on him and called on the electorate to seize the moment and make their voices heard during the election in November. Professor Soludo said he cited the National Bureau of Statistics in saying that poverty indices in Anambra declined from 53% in 2010 to 14.78% in 2020. He said the partisan politics aside, APGA has done well for the state. And as Charles Soludo emerged winner of the All Progressive Grand Alliance Party yesterday in Oka, the Jude Okeke-led National Working Committee has suspended the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The decision to suspend Professor Soludo and 3 others came also being ratified by the National Elective Committee of the party, and they also described the governorship primary elections organized by another faction of the party in Anambra as a waste of time, invalid and unconstitutional. The factional National Publicity Secretary of APGA, Ikechukwu Chukwunyere, says the suspended members are engaging in anti-party activities and accused them of making efforts to ensure disunity and not focused on winning the governorship election. The Judo Keke-led faction of the party says it will hold its primary elections on the 1st of July in line with the provision of the party's constitution, INEC guidelines, and the Electoral Act.
Party activities. This suspension has also been ratified this morning by the National Executive Committee of the party, which rose from a meeting earlier this morning. The party resolved to suspend Professor Soludo and 3 other members due to the unrelenting effort at ensuring that the party is not united to focus on winning the governorship election. People who have been identified as having cut deals with other political parties to act subterfuge for them in our party will be shown.
Now, if you received the first jab of the AstraZeneca vaccine, it is very important to get the second jab to be fully immune. Now, Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, said this when he received the second jab of the vaccine on Wednesday. Lagos State government started administering the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine since 2 weeks ago at the 88 centers set up for vaccination across the state.
This is not enough to give you the protection that you need to fight off the virus if you get exposed. So I've come for my second dose now, so I've had it. So as of today, I'm fully immunized, and hopefully if I come across the virus, either by contacting someone or in an environment where the virus is in the air, the virus will try to infect me again, but the vaccination now would have built up the immunity in me.
And outside Nigeria now, antivirus software entrepreneur John McAfee has been found dead in a Barcelona prison cell, just hours after Spanish court agreed to extradite him to the U.S. to face tax evasion charges. The Catalan Justice Department said prison medics tried to resuscitate him, but were not successful. It is in a statement that everything indicates that Mr. McCarthy took his own life. Now, in October 2020, he was arrested in Spain and accused of failing to file tax returns for 4 years, despite earning millions from consulting work, speaking engagements, cryptocurrency, and selling the rights to his life story. The U.S. Justice Department alleged that Mr. McCarthy evaded tax liability by having his income paid into bank accounts and cryptocurrency exchange accounts in the name of nominees. He was also accused of concealing assets, including a yacht and real estate property, in the names of others. And that's it for the news. Let's check out what we have inside of sports, apart from the 2-2 draw from yesterday, which I was opportune to see for the very first time. Mike is very proud of me. Mike, aren't you? Very interesting news in the dailies this morning. Unfortunately, we can only bring you the headlines, so let's already start. Welcome. It is a Thursday. It is the 24th, yes, of June 2021. So let's let you know what we can find in the headlines for the Daily Trust newspaper. First up, for today. Now, Buhari has nothing to do with media bills, say the presidency, is what they're letting us know. And riverine communities decry rot in inland waterways, something you could experience if you visit the Niger Delta yourself. And taking a close look here at the just over the photo story, Goni Kachalari Government Day Technical College, among Zulum's 16 mega schools, 60 air-conditioned classrooms for at least 2,400 students, and more on that daily with photo stories to show. We move on now to our next paper, and that is News Direct here at the very top. It's a potpourri of headlines. NCDMB and Nexim sign agreement on a $30 million capital capacity building fund, and Adenya water plans to supply 70 MGD to Lagos, say Governor Sanwo-Olu. NIA expels Standard Alliance, IGI, and Niger Insurance from their group, and that made rounds in business news only just yesterday. The big story here for News Direct: corruption war. Nigeria recovers $700 million assets in 6 years. Professor Owasanoye urges African governments to prioritize assets recovery, and why Lagos lawmakers approve Sanwo-Olu's $85 billion bond request, and aggressive profit-taking in Airtel Africa BUA cement down equities market by 440 billion naira in 3 days. MTN Nigeria gets GCR's AAA credit rating, and more still here for News Direct. Soludo wins Anambra APGA governorship primary election, and Senate approves establishment of Federal Universities of Medicine, Abeokuta. 4.5 billion naira fraud case predates NAMI's appointment, FIRS. And indeed, that is all that we can take indeed for today for the headlines. But not to worry, we have more coming your way. If you want to have any of these on for discussion, please do make sure that you put us on a tag. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and would like to continue that conversation with you on social media.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, it's time for What's Up and About.
What's up and about, guys?
What's up and about?
If I start, I will not stop. So let somebody please just introduce us.
I would like no matter you the best. Yours are not the boy style. You don't go boy young. Oh, man,
listen, yeah. I am absolutely disgusted at the rot in content for reality television show recently. Of course, we all know what's happening. There's a certain reality show reunion that's going on, and everybody's talking about it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to say anything good about this, because yesterday I saw my first full episode. Yes, I can say that now.
Okay.
And I was absolutely disgusted. I was stuck on the TV with my wife, and I was asking her, why are we watching this? What are we doing? Why can we not tear ourselves away? Because all that was being said was the glorification of immorality, head to toe, and everybody trying to get their final hurrah in before the next set of people come in, and then they are irrelevant. It was utter rubbish.
Did she enjoy it, by the way?
Who, my wife?
Yeah.
Well.
Okay, so Mazino, this is what I'm going to say, which is the truth. It is the bitter truth. The future of television is reality TV, whether we like it or not. And what makes for good television?
Definitely not coitus.
What makes for good television?
What makes for good television? Expressions.
Expressions of
what? I don't like to think that.
So all of everything. Everything that's going on right now, you know, with this, you know,
celebration of
there's somebody I wish I was having this discussion
degradation of morality.
Our environmental and sports expert, allow me to. There are some terms I would understand, but you know what? This is so funny. I don't know. I'm a bit amused at how piqued Mazino is about this all of this. I'm a bit amused because you see, as much I would differ from his opinion a little bit, and that's not because my morals are thrown away to the wind. No, I believe in a moral society and all of that. But what I love about this, what I love about what is happening is that for a change, we're seeing people. We've grown up in a community where people do a lot of stuff outside. We have a lot of white and sepulchres, and we can be the most hypocritical people.
I agree.
There's so much that happens on the inside. But when it comes outside, everybody is a saint.
And you know, that's exactly what happened during the show.
Exactly. So
because all of these revelations are what happens behind.
So some people even who are part of the show are now. For the records, I've not even seen one full episode. I just see highlights.
What I even really.
But I love that. Look, I love that we don't look people. Let it out there. Tell it as it is. Don't. We are too.
Okay. As much as we
hypocritical.
As much as we want to bear our minds, let's remember that in the next 15 years from now, when we are grown and married and have our kids are going to be talking about us on
the internet never forgets, guys.
How many kids are talking about Kim Kardashian?
No, but seriously,
they are.
The victims,
she's a billionaire.
Mike.
Yeah, talk about billionaire. Do you have one billion?
So imagine your kids having this conversation like, oh yeah, look at your mom 10 years ago.
See, let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you something. Your kids would have, you know the way they want to
they're the victims right now.
Our kids would have gone to the level whereby that would be, they'd be like, oh, stop. Like, there's just so much that's coming up. So many things happening that thing will be like, it's been rubbish. I am telling you.
To be honest, there's a
it will be.
I understand where you guys are saying that this is some form of regular expression, but another point is the fact that these guys are trying a bit too hard.
No, I don't think. I just think it's
money they're giving us fun.
Yeah, they're giving us content.
Just with their full chest.
Yes, please.
You people, take it easy. Internet never forgets you guys. Come on, man.
Forget internet. Internet will. There'll be an answer after internet.
Internet will be fine.
Let's do
Let's do internet will be fine.
We got more coming up on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be right back.
Of course, with me in the kitchen this morning is
Daniel.
Chef Daniel. How are you doing today?
I'm all right.
You always have this gourmet feel that you bring to your meals every single time. Thank you for being here today. And this morning we are making roasted pepper fusilli pasta.
You're correct.
Yes, I got it right this time, right? Now, just in case you're wondering, what is fusilli? You mind to enlighten us?
Yeah, fusilli is a type of pasta. The same way we have spaghetti, we have penne pasta.
Okay, so, well, left for us, I would just call this a macaroni, but it's all right. Let's talk about the ingredients we're working with.
Okay, let me start with the pasta. So we'll be using fusilli pasta. We're going to be using some chicken breast, that's the protein. Of course, this is the base of the dish.
That's a roasted pepper.
So in there we have some roasted garlic and onions.
So they're all blended, yeah? Or crushed?
Yes.
Okay.
Just roughly. Then we have some milk. We have cooking cream. We have herb oil, which is made in-house. Okay. And we have some black pepper. We have some salt. And then we have some flour. And that's how we'll be using.
What does the flour do for this meal?
We're going to make a roux.
A roux? What's a roux?
We're going to use a thickened sauce that we're going to be using for the pasta.
Okay, so it's that before. So, okay, I'm going to try to have like a visual idea of what we're trying to create here. Are we mixing all of this into a one-pot dish, or we're having the fusilli pasta and then the roasted? Mixing everything together. Fantastic. So I'm guessing that the flour is just to give it that, is a thickener, more like a binder.
It's a thickener, you're correct.
All right, fantastic. So what do we start with?
Okay, so I'm going to start by seasoning my chicken. And after then, we start boiling our pasta. So all those can get ready before.
Are we parboiling the pasta?
Yeah, of course. You're parboiling the pasta.
Okay, great.
So start with patting your chicken dry. You don't
Oh,
want
okay.
any water in it.
Are we frying that?
No, you got to be pan-seared.
Pan-seared, okay. Are we going to season it?
Of course, we're going to season it with some black
Okay.
pepper and salt.
Okay. Is there a reason you're drying it though?
Yeah, of course, if you want to season your protein, your meat, anything, for you to incorporate the
Seasoning in it.
very well, you need to pat dry it so that there won't be any element of water because the water might wash away all your seasoning.
Oh, the seasoning.
Yeah.
Is that what happens? No idea. You see why you should always tune in to Wake Up Nigeria, people? Because we have chefs who come in to give us, those kitchen hacks and cooking hacks that help us, get better with our cooking experience. All right. So now that that is dry, what's next?
I'm going to add some herb oil on it.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm
Herb
adding...
oil.
Yes, please.
Herb oil. Okay. So right now we are going to marinate our chicken breast, right?
Yes, correct.
And then pan-sear it.
Correct.
Okay, people, we are making roasted pepper fusilli pasta here with Chef Daniel. But we'll be back shortly. For now, there's some art display with Mazino.
Well, I wish there was other bigger terms I could use to explain the personality that we have on today, but I'm only just going to do it in the most modest way. It's time for a little mini, is not the word, it's not mini arts exhibition today. This is a really big one. And we have Wilson Emamodi with us here, aka Ratata. He's an OAP arts lecturer and advocate. Welcome to the show. Good to finally see you here, Ratata.
Yeah, greetings, boss.
Yes. Now, first off, what most people know about you is that you are a personality on radio. But they don't know the other side of you unless they follow you on social media. And right around us, we can see these huge paintings that are credited to you. First off, welcome.
Thank you, boss.
Now, this art side of you, did it start before or after radio?
Far before radio. I was born gifted in this area. Then I further went to school to polish it. Yeah, man.
What school was that?
Well, Federal Polytechnic, Auchi.
Auchi, okay.
Yeah, so I did arts and design, then major in painting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you now went on further to be a lecturer for I think.
In Niger State
Niger
College
State.
of Education. I actually did my NYC there.
Okay.
And I was retained. So for 9 years, I taught and lectured art, drawing, art history, painting, sculpture.
Wow.
Yes, then music and dance. Yeah.
Music as well. You're
Yeah,
also a
sure.
musician. Wow,
Yeah.
you are just,
Yeah,
wow,
yes,
that's
boss.
incredible. So let's focus on the art. How would you describe your kind of art? Because I see very different patterns here. I see like regular life pictures, or I see stuff that are almost abstract, but still with great patterns and everyday life around us. So in a few words, describe your kind of art.
My kind of art is telling stories with colors and lines and drawings, right? So you wake up in the morning, you see things. It's a form of documentation for me. Yeah,
nice.
you understand, documenting everyday activities, documenting personalities, talking about portraiture. For example, when I graduated, my final year project, right, was titled Art as an Instrument, or rather Painting as an Instrument of Historical Documentation, with a case study of the 1966 coup d'etat.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So what he said, yeah, man. So what exactly did if you were to put that in a painting, how would that have looked like?
Exactly. So I had my project report written, then I had the project, the practical side of it, where I actually did a painting of one of the, so to say, guys who led the coup, Major Unzogu. He was at the middle. Then I had portraits of others around it, some of them who lost their lives or who were killed, like like Akintola, like Tafawa Balewa. I had them all around. So that just told the story. And before then, I had to meet one of the persons who actually escaped being killed in the coup. That was the late General Ejo.
Okay.
Yeah, so he told me his own story and all of all that.
Your art is indeed historic.
Sure.
Very, very historic. That's where's that painting now, however?
Well, anyway, of course, it was my final year project, so it's in my school. Yes,
they're enjoying it.
They're enjoying it and all of all that.
Let's take a look at your art.
Yes,
now, the one thing that actually caught my attention, and the reason why we wanted you here on the show, was one particular art piece which I saw on your Instagram page, and that's this one right here. For me, this painting defines the regular, everyday Nigerian, in fact, Lagos life. No one would look at that picture and not be connected with it.
Yeah, true.
It is so connected that I want to steal it, and I bet anybody who's actually seeing this right now would want to keep that.
Yeah.
Now, what is this exactly, and how did you come about it?
Anyways, on radio, I anchor a program titled Market Runs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I visit the market activities. Yeah, so I was just flipping through the internet and I saw a picture. I said, okay, this can be cool. I documented it by, I took a snapshot of it and I kept it. So just last week, I wanted to try something new. I've been painting the regular. I said, okay, let me try a different style on a plain background as this. So I said, okay, this would be cool to do or to start up this new, the newness of me. And so that was just how, okay, jerry cans, a building. Just that.
Wow, it's so simple yet it is so deep.
Yes.
And then we have this baby here, which most fathers and mothers would actually appreciate here. In fact, everybody who saw this morning thought that this was the best one. This is who? Is this somebody we know? Or
well, nobody we know. Nobody I know. Yeah, like I said, just trying out something new with I love strokes back then in school.
I can see that.
Yeah, so and even my classmates then who saw it said, yeah, Ra, you've not lost your identity back then. Yeah,
it is very real. It seems.
Yeah.
For me, it just feels like it's filled with hope. Children are hope. Children are the future. There's so much that you can actually translate from this one picture here. I like that it's such a plain background and the focus is on this baby who's. It's just very interesting.
Well, it's titled My Red Earrings.
Red earrings. Oh, it's a girl.
Yeah. So if you look at the painting, one thing that that strikes you is just the red.
Nice.
That's it.
And everything else is black or white.
Black or white. Yeah.
That's very And then your this rough patterning here, it does come together to make to translate into something.
Yep.
I can see shanty town. I can see a city behind. I can see clothes hanging just before.
Yeah.
Define this for us.
And
now.
we're talking about laundering.
Okay.
Yep, laundering. So every other thing is black or white, but you see the clothes of different colors.
And also the same thing with the other one behind you as well.
Yep,
Similar.
Yes. This is just a market scene. Yeah, so like I said before, it's all about markets, and you see it's just market scene, sellers, clothes, and everything up there. Yeah, so
Very
it's just
interesting.
my visit to a market. So that's it.
Wow. Now, it's very amazing how you can come up with these things, and you have a particular signature up there, which I see on most of your pictures.
Yeah.
Why do you always put that radio bit on there?
Yeah, because I found out that, of course, in the marketplace, most people listen to radio.
Oh, very interesting. The
They do.
everyday life of people.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
very interesting. Oh, a bit of a boo-boo there. What's going on? I think we're trying to listen to ourselves. Let me just hang on. All right, there we go. I'm going to fix that later. Now, how does your process begin each day?
Okay, well, for my art, my process begins by, I have a sketch pad, right, where, in which I put down my sketches and all that. So when I want to start a painting, I go through all the either pictures or the materials I have, reference materials, and then flip through. The one that my heart sits on, say, okay, this can fly today. Yeah, then I said, okay.
So do you consider how much it'll cost you or how much it'll bring you when you're starting this process? Or does that what defines the expense or how much you sell these pictures?
Well, number one, I just paint. Then talking about how much I sell depends on who is involved. Yes, boss.
Is that why you were charging me? Let's talk about my best picture here. If the guy who's driving the downfall bus tells you that he wants to buy that picture, how much would you sell it to him?
Anyway, if a guy who drives a downfall bus comes for this, I will tell him, well, boss, this is not for you.
No, but come on now, really. How much would you sell it to him?
Well, anyway, okay, now let's go this way, right? If the governor of the state comes for this now, for example,
that's your clientele.
Yes,
I
for example, right? Yes, I won't be giving out to him same, sum as you if you come for this.
So how much would you give it to me if I came for it?
Yeah, let's say 500K would do.
And my money wants to make money out of my head. In any case, man, we love your painting. We love your personality on radio and your personality here, by the way. He's actually a pidgin English presenter on radio. And it's very fun. It's good to see that you have different communications, not just pidgin English, but English and also in the arts. We
Yeah.
thank you very much for coming
Great
here.
things.
If you want to reach him, you guys already know how you can. We have his Instagram handle on there, and you guys can find him. Thank you very much, Wilson. It's a pleasure always.
Thank you
Thank you
for
very
knowing you since 2012. You didn't
Yeah.
tell them that?
We have history. Let's leave that one. So let us do stay tuned. We have more coming your way today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mike. Welcome to the kitchen. With me this morning is Chef Daniel, and this morning we are making roasted pepper fusilli pasta. You thought I forgot?
No, I was just saying to make a mistake. But no,
All right, so let's run through the ingredients quickly.
Okay, again, our pasta is boiling. That's fusilli pasta. Like I said the other time, the type of pasta, like same way we have penne pasta, spaghetti, and the like. So,
Yeah, so I would go ahead, please.
okay,
I just
so
want people to see what it looks like.
then,
Yeah.
of course, we have our pepper, the roasted pepper.
Okay.
And for the roasted pepper, which is the base of the pasta, actually, we're going to be making use of some red bell pepper, some garlic, and some onions.
Okay.
Wash the pepper, dry it, then put it in the oven. Toss some herb oil on it and some black pepper and salt.
When you say herb oil, people really need to understand what herb oil is. Is it herb oil
Yes.
or herb oil?
Okay. Is herb oil.
Or maybe you need to also tell us what
It is.
it consists of.
Okay. What it is okay. You use
Because
some.
it looks like a
herbs.
secret.
Yeah, of course. So I
It looks like a secret ingredient. Okay, just go ahead and tell us what it is quickly.
Okay. To make the herb oil, you need a different type of herbs. So I use basil. I use some rosemary, some thyme, coriander. So you dry it up in the oven, not dry the leaf, just dry it so that there won't be any element of water on the leaf. So by the time you want to make your oil, there won't be any retainers of water in your oil, so it's going to be splashing.
All right,
So
all right. It's
that's
a whole
base.
lot of. It
Yeah,
looks
so
like a
don't
whole lot of
even go
work.
down there.
Anyways, right now on your screen are the ingredients, just in case you missed out on it. But let's explain the process for
Roux.
the roux. Yes.
Okay.
And if you're wondering what the roux is, it is a sauce, right?
No, it's used for thickening. It's just a
yeah.
combination of fat and flour.
Fat and flour, yeah.
Yeah, so just
Okay.
to thicken your sauce.
All right. So our ingredients are right there on the screen. We are using salt, milk, flour, butter, herb oil, dry parsley, fusilli pasta, which is cooking already, black pepper, chicken breasts, cooking cream, and roasted pepper. So talking about our roasted pepper, which it has already been crushed. So what we did with the red bell peppers, onions, and what else did you do? Your herb oil and garlic. You crushed, you roasted the bell pepper, right?
Both the pepper, the garlic, and the onion in the oven.
Okay, you roasted them and then you crushed
You're
them.
using a food processor, or you can chop it up if you don't have a food processor.
All right, great. Now that our our fusilli pasta is almost ready, what's next?
So we're going to get on the base for our pasta now. So
Okay.
we're going to start with the roux.
Okay.
So roux is just a combination of fat and flour,
Flour,
equal
yeah.
parts by weight.
And it's a thickener.
Yeah, it's a
basically,
thickener, yes.
right? Okay, great.
We don't want our pasta to be loose because it's creamy pasta, so we
Okay.
don't want it to combine together.
Okay. So we have our herb oil in there.
If you want to use oil, if you have butter, you can use butter, just fat and flour.
Okay. Is this necessary for this dish, though?
No, it's not necessary. But the reason why I always decide to use it because I always like when my pasta is not loose. I don't like it when it is loose.
Oh, you like
Yeah.
it to be
Yeah, thick and very creamy.
creamy.
Yeah.
I love it creamy too. I love creamy pasta. All right, if you're joining us this morning, with me is Chef Daniel, and this morning we are making roasted pepper fusilli pasta. Yes, I know it's a mouthful. And right now, our fusilli pasta is almost ready. I don't mean like it's almost cooked. We're going to drain it off
Yes, of course,
briefly,
we're going to
right?
do that,
Great.
yeah.
And right now we are making our roux, which is our base for our pasta. And there's still so much more on the show, guys. The next 45 minutes is going to be great.
And yes, of course, we are back. Welcome to the second hour of your fulfilling family breakfast show.
Yes. What else should viewers expect after a fantastic 1 hour on the show? What else?
Nothing, hey. But the very best, all here. We still have so much in store for you for the next 45 minutes, so you guys do stay tuned, and I bet you're going to enjoy it.
Truly, time waits for no one, especially when you're having so much fun. Our chef Daniel has been busy, cooking breakfast, making our fusilli pasta.
I can hear all that
the
sizzling.
aroma,
Very
it's beginning to fill the studio. I know, right?
But hey, I'm looking forward to a fantastic breakfast. If there's enough that will be left for me after we're done, with the show. But in any case, it's all good. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am Email Koche.
Yes, indeed. Let's let you guys know what we have left. But remember that you can stream the show live if you have to be on the move. TVCentertainment.tv and also on Facebook as well. We're at TVC Connect. We also look forward to your comments, guys. So please make sure that you send those comments in. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC on all the social media that we have left.
Yes, all of it, please. Go on those comments, go on our comment sections and comment, like, and repost. Would love that as well, yes. And of course, do not forget that our app is also available for download on both the Android and iOS stores. Just one click.
Oh, I love good food. I love looking at good food. I just wish I could cook. It just annoys me that I never took the time out while I was a bachelor. I had a very, very big cooker, never used it.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
Okay, so I hated cooking growing up.
You did?
I did.
Are you not Calabar? How can you hate cooking?
I know, shocking, right? I actually did.
No, you don't talk like that.
I actually did.
Why do you? I don't know. No, this not. How can you?
I think because I had a
things?
few bad experiences with getting burned, not knowing how to strike a match. Oh, it took a while for me to be able to learn how to strike a match. Trust me. And so even to strike a match to light the stove, then.
But right now you're good at it.
Oh, but now I'm a fantastic.
And Mike is also a good cook, I suppose.
Yeah, excellent. If I do home services, if I cook for you, yeah. Don't try me, oh.
Sorry. Home service, yes.
Yeah. The chefs, you don't do home service. Don't do home service. Don't people. You don't know about chef services.
I don't know.
Mike
chef or a plumber.
You come and give. Hey, don't say it.
Mike was the first person I learned scoopia fish from.
What
is scoopia fish?
All right, you know what?
Meanwhile, I beg, we have to say this. I bought croaker fish 1.7 yesterday. You need to see how tiny this thing was.
1,700 naira.
I'm telling you, it
For
was
how
tiny.
many kilos?
No, it was already prepared croaker.
It was like a little palm.
Like it was so small. Like what's
But
happening,
croaker
man?
is expensive now.
We need to go back to
You know how
Panla.
much a kilo of Titus fish is?
We need to go back to Panla. Panla is not expensive.
Sorry,
right?
what's the difference? Panla, croqueta.
Okay, so panla are those
I don't
roasted
get it.
ones.
Those ones that they
yeah, so you can find it for like
Those ones
200
you put in abacha. If you put it in oil, like where there's pepper, yay.
You know what? I accept the challenge. Why don't you bring your finest fish? I'll bring my finest burger, and you can just light a matchstick. That's all you guys want. Let's do the weather. Sorry, fact finder, and then we'll be back with the news. You're welcome back. Second hour here. Let's do the news. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now, if you receive the first jab of the AstraZeneca vaccine, it is very important that you get the second jab to be fully immune. Now, Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, said this when he received the second jab of the vaccine on Wednesday. Lagos State government started administering the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine since 2 weeks ago at the 88 centers set up for the vaccination across the state.
It's not enough to give you the protection that you need to fight off the virus if you get exposed. So I've come for my second dose now, so I've had it. So as of today, I'm fully immunized, and hopefully if I come across the virus, either by contacting someone or in an environment where the virus is in the air, the virus will try to infect me again, but the vaccination now would have built up the immunity in me.
And now, outside of Nigeria, antivirus software entrepreneur John McAfee has been found dead in a Barcelona prison cell just hours after a Spanish court agreed to extradite him to the U.S. to face tax evasion charges. The Catalan Justice Department said prison medics tried to resuscitate him, but were not successful. It is said in a statement that everything indicates Mr. McAfee took his own life. In October 2020, he was arrested in Spain and accused of failing to file tax returns for 4 years, despite earning millions from consulting work, speaking arrangements, cryptocurrency, and selling the rights to his life story. The U.S. Justice Department alleged that Mr. McAfee evaded tax liabilities by having his income paid into bank accounts and cryptocurrency exchange accounts in the name of nominees. He was also accused of concealing assets, including a yacht and real estate property, in the names of others.
Super story, you. Thank you so much, Young Sneaky, for that one, talking about talent. We have quite an interesting read on the show this morning. We have here with me Managing Your Talent for Value and Visibility. And this book is written by author and certified professional coach Michael Ogu. And this morning we'll be reviewing his book, which of course he says is a must-read for people who are looking to increase their value and visibility. Thank you so much for being on the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so tell us quickly the motivation for writing this book.
I had come across a lot of people who have talent, but they struggle to have their talent become visible. I'll give you an example. Where I worked a couple of years ago, the head chef had a son who knew how to cook very well.
Okay.
And so in having a conversation, I asked him, how many people know that you could cook?
Okay.
I said, very few people. I said, you have raw talent, but your talent is not visible. So that was one of the inspirations that led me to write the book, Managing Your Talent for Value and Visibility.
You know, a lot of people really do not even know that they have talents. Talk less of, knowing that they are people worth of value. Now, how do I identify that I am a person of value?
Wow, interesting question. So in the book, I talk about 9 ways you could discover that you are a person of value, but I like to talk about 2. And the first is that you possess uncommon skill sets that other people do not possess easily.
How do you identify
those skill sets? So you could look inwardly and you could look outwardly. You could look inwardly through self-evaluation exercises, self-awareness exercises, taking personality assessments, and then looking outwardly, getting feedback from family, from friends, and even from colleagues. So those are 2 ways to discover, looking inwardly and outwardly.
So here you talked about the imposter syndrome and how it's a barrier to visibility. Tell us about that.
Very interesting syndrome. You know, there is the expert syndrome and there is the imposter syndrome. So the imposter syndrome is a syndrome that makes you think you are a fraud. You begin to think less of yourself.
You begin to question
your abilities. That, do I really have talent? And even when you have that inborn talent, you begin to find out, can I really do this thing? And you begin to question, your abilities. It can even manifest in 2 dimensions. Low self-esteem, and then when you begin to unnecessarily seek external validation of what you do.
Okay, now let's talk about visibility. So for example, I'm a talent, I know my value. What if I don't want that visibility?
Wow, you're the first person asking me this question, and to be very honest with you, I'm yet to meet someone who doesn't want their talent to be visible, but then again, I would say that the subject of visibility is relative and it's personal. So some people want to keep their talents, and some people also want their talent to be seen.
Yeah.
So I would ask, why wouldn't you want your talent to be seen, for goodness sake, So we just had young Sneaky in the section before this one, and I'm sure he will want his talent to be visible.
Well, he's a music artist.
He wants to blow.
Now, you also highlighted in your book here benefits of visibility. Would you like to highlight some of them?
Yes. First benefit of visibility is that it makes you a go-to person. Okay. People will want to seek your wisdom, seek you out, seek your counsel, seek your advice. The second benefit is that you get to establish yourself as an authority or as a thought leader, as people will refer to. And when you are seen as an authority, whatever you say, people will hold it in high esteem. A third benefit of visibility is that it earns you credibility, because people believe people who are authorities. People believe those who are subject matter experts. So if, for example, you were to go to a hospital, you would prefer the opinion of a consultant rather than someone who is doing housemanship. So it establishes your credibility. Those are some of the benefits of visibility.
Now let's talk about harnessing the right relationships, which you also spoke about here, and how it influences you as a person of value and also your visibility. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that chapter, Harnessing Right Relationships, for me was the chapter that touched me the most.
Okay.
Because I spent almost 4 months writing that chapter.
Wow, interesting.
And I came up with a model called the relationship optimization model, which talks about 9 types of people or 9 classes of people that you need to pay attention to if you will become visible or if your talent will become valuable and visible. So you have the connectors. Connectors are people that they link you up with opportunities for exposure. Then you have amplifiers. Amplifiers amplify what you carry. Then you have sharpeners. You know, when you want to sharpen an axe so that, you know, it can cut properly. Sharpeners are people who help to sharpen your saws. Your saws could be your gifts, your talents. Then you have builders. Builders are people that equip you for future opportunities.
Okay.
Then you have your encouragers. We call encouragers peace givers. They help you to stay sane. In other words, that means encouragers have a way of helping you to remain stable mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. Then we have illuminators. They are knowledge seeking. Then you have your stabilizers. They are people who stabilize you in times of unrest. Then lastly, you have your optimizer. The optimizer is the person that can operate in the other 8. And if you recognize these relationships in your life, you will know what to expect from each person. I'll give you an example. One of my friends is a connector. Throughout my career, he has always connected me with opportunities. I also have another friend who is an amplifier. She has helped to amplify my gifts. So it's recognizing these people and then knowing the value and the role they play in your life.
Each other's life. Now, there's something that I really need to say here because you said something now that resonated with me. There's something my role model used to say. He says that you need to appreciate, a lot of us do not appreciate the value that we have. Everyone has value. How do you appreciate one's value in regards to all of these 9 classes of people that you have just mentioned?
Very interesting question. So in appreciating value, I would say that do 4 things. Show people that you care for them, because when you show people that you care, you connect with their hearts. Then go the extra mile to render support and assistance where necessary. That will be using your head and your hands. And then I would also say that in appreciating the value people bring into your life, also be there for them in down moments. So it's not every time someone is celebrating that you are there for the person. Have you been there for the person when the person has down moments? And then lastly, show that you are a friend indeed. A friend indeed is a friend in need.
Fantastic. I love what you said there. Now, finally, let's look at evoking personal transformation. Here, you broke down a few, a model on personal transformation. You call it the ACID.
Yes, that's the ACID model.
Explain that,
yes,
please.
So very interesting, you know, and that chapter of the book is more or less like the forerunner to the other chapters.
Okay.
And so the ACID model starts with awareness. And I often say to people, transformation starts from the place of self-awareness.
Sure.
So then the C in the ACID model is clarity and conviction. When you have gotten to a place of awareness, you now move to clarity. Things become clear, and then you are now convinced of the decisions you need to make. Then I is insights and learnings. From all the things, from the feedback I've gotten from people around me, and even from the things I know about myself, what insights and learnings have I drawn? When you understand the place of awareness, clarity and conviction, insights and learnings, then the last point is decisions, where you can now
make those critical decisions that will help you to go to where you need to be.
Exactly.
Fantastic. I have loved every bit of this discussion. I won't even lie to you. I mean, this is a book for every young person out there. If you're still on that journey to self-discovery, this is a book for you. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me.
For this, you know, knowledge that you are sharing with the world. Thank you so much. All right, there's still so much more on the show. Guess what, people? We have an interesting chef next up. Stay with us.
Yes, and you are welcome back. First up, we've had an entire conversation before now, but let me do the introductions for you. We have been joined by New York-born and self-taught professional chef Kolawole Dosunmu, a.k.a. you know him already. He's been on the show many times, Chef KD Prime. Now, we're going to be having a very interesting conversation. He's a very avid biker, by the way. Of course, you guys know this as well. And a lover of fast cars, and also the executive director of a British engineering firm operating here in Lagos and in Port Harcourt. You're welcome once again, KD Prime. Good to have you on the studio and the set. But let's get to know you. Everybody was excited. Everybody's always excited when you are on our set for the chef bit. We love your food. We love your breakfast borderline expressions and all of that. So people wanted to get to know you more. Who or what makes up Chef KD Prime? Now, you are an engineer, and while I knew this from before, I thought that you had shelved that to focus on the cooking. But apparently you juggle these two. How does that work with you?
Funny enough, let's take it back a bit. I started out as a banker, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as a banker for 7 years.
Okay.
Crossed over into engineering. Taught myself engineering.
Wow.
Started my own engineering company. Then in between, I've been cooking all through. Started cooking when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Which was 41 years ago.
Okay, now you know.
In 2016, I started thinking of what would I do for retirement? Because there will come a time that you can't hold spanners anymore.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, what can I do? And cooking was it. So that's how I now went into cooking. But my engineering business has always been in the background.
Wow, that's very interesting.
I mean, when I was a kid, I read finance and investments.
Okay.
Hated it.
Okay.
But when I was a kid, I was always working with toy cars, taking them apart, putting them back together
again.
So crossing over into engineering for me, and not to make light of engineering as a profession, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there, waiting, but it was natural for me because I like fixing things. I like tangible things.
And when you say you taught yourself engineering, you did get certification and all of that. Yeah. How exactly do you mean you taught yourself engineering? I
learned in high school in the US, I did an automotive course in 1987. And that's when I found out how engines worked. And I found it so fascinating. So I actually started servicing cars and working on cars and bikes as far back as then. So when I started the engineering bit, working on forklifts and cranes, the transition was not that crazy to me. It was just a larger scale.
I get you.
Of the same basic things.
Which is very funny. I remember back in the 80s, my dad would actually send my brother off to an electrician's shop to just learn stuff. And I'm like, why are you sending him there? He's going to school now. But that's something that parents of nowadays actually don't do anymore. Yeah. Vocations and how that can actually bring out a passion in a child. I would have loved to have been sent, but my father thought, you're the youngest kid. No, he will pamper you.
Last born.
But in any case, you also brushed on what I was going to talk about next. Our love for bikes and fast cars is also part of your multifaceted, fascinating self.
Yes.
When did you, well, I guess you already talked about when you fell in love with bikes, but let's hear that again. When did you actually fall in love with bikes, especially?
It was spring break 1991, and I was watching a game show, and a woman won 2 motorcycles. Okay. And the game show host asked her, do you know how to ride? And she goes, no, I don't. And I was like, damn. I can say that in the morning, right?
No, but you already done did it.
Ouch. And I was like, I'm going to learn how to ride a motorcycle. So I asked the superintendent of our apartment building to show me how it's done. And then I shelved that. Then 5 years later, I had a dream. And not the Martin Luther King type.
No, not that kind.
And that was it. I took a night bus to Kaduna. I was living in Port Harcourt then.
Wow.
Bought a bike, taught myself how to ride it.
Again.
And that was it.
Wow. That's very interesting. Now, people don't understand when I tell them how much of an exciting experience it is to live on 2 wheels. How being on 2 wheels is like you being the actor in the movie instead of the person seeing the movie. So please explain to them all of this, excitement about bikes.
Funny enough, for me, riding motorcycles, I think it's one of those things that joins man or woman with, it shows you the freedom of being a human being. It shows the being at one with nature.
Preach.
When I'm on a motorcycle, I'm at my calmest. Funny enough, cooking and riding motorcycles, even though they seem so different, but the two are extremely therapeutic for me. If I'm sad, I cook. If I'm sad, I ride.
Nice.
If I'm angry, I ride. If I'm angry, I cook. And when I'm happy, I do it all.
Yeah, nice. Let's talk about cooking now. So Cooking is something that we've enjoyed. It's a passion of yours that we have also enjoyed here. The first time I met you was at the Food Festival, and we talked about so many things, but at the center of it was the fact that you are Chef KD Prime. You didn't teach yourself to cook, did you?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Once again, I'm jealous. But you also have this finesse about it. It's like you're dancing while you're cooking, and it's a show. It's an entire show. It's just beautiful to see you cooking.
Thank you so
also
much. That really
plating
means a
and
lot.
all of that. It's fascinating. Tell us about that passion.
You know, the first thing I ever cooked in my life was eggs.
Everybody, that's the only thing I can still yet cook.
And then I'm going to say what you guys don't want to hear, but I'm going to say it.
Here we
Making
go.
eggs sexy, even back then, was just a goal. So you could fry normal eggs. You can add sardine to eggs. But then when you now take it to the level of adding dried fish, crayfish, a bit of spring onions, some ugu, or even scent leaf, or even curry leaf, let's add it there
There's
as well.
so much you could do.
As in like ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I love it.
See what I'm talking about? It's like a dance, isn't it?
And that's just eggs. Oh. We haven't talked of all the different soups we have in Nigeria. I'm not the most Afrocentric person in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, your dishes aren't absolutely indigenous. They might be, but they have a sense of one continental bit here or there, especially in the presentation and all of that, which is...
Actually, going back to that food festival where we discussed, I made a pot of groundnut soup there.
Okay.
And groundnut soup is one of those soups that not many people know of it. They either think it's Ghanaian or Edo or Hausa. So I decided to make mine on the Edo slant. So periwinkle, dried fish, cow tongue, cow tail, matching ground.
Oh, yeah. That's the shaki.
Isam, periwinkles.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There was a guy that came to my stand, and he had never had it before. And he said he wants to try it out. He bought a plate, tasted it, came back and bought 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine. There's also something you guys do not know about Chef KD Prime, and this is the fact that you're an atheist.
Yes. I'm card carrying, but I didn't bring my card with me.
Now, I had a discussion with one person, and eventually I decided to, well, conclude on the fact that for some people, it's based on life events that actually make them feel a certain way. This person must have been. But in your case, why is the reason that you do not believe in a God?
First things first, I wasn't brought up with religion, per se. I mean, it was the U.S. in the 70s, and my mom is, well, quote unquote, a Muslim. She came from a Muslim family, but in the U.S. at that time, there were no mosques around. And she decided to bring up her kids with just strong morals.
Okay.
And I have never had that connection with any religion or any deity for any reason, because I believe that you are what you are, and you should do well to people. And at the end of the day, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and you're okay, no, not okay. If you're happy with your decisions, I do not believe that if there is a God, that God has a role in our day-to-day lives. I don't.
Then you're agnostic then.
No, agnostics are lazy atheists.
Nerf, okay. Tell you what, we've had so much fun picking your brain and actually getting to know you more.
Thank you so
We
much.
are excited to see you again in our kitchen the next time. Hopefully you bring some of that garlic thing that you've kept for 10 years and all of that. But let's still see you in the kitchen. Only this time, let's make it another show.
I can get up?
Yeah, sure. You can. Let's play Chopped.
Oh, nice. Nicely done. Please have a seat, Chef KD.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to be seen. And isn't it interesting how you
KD
get to be
Prime.
our guests today?
Wow.
Please have a seat.
Will I be
We
comfortable?
are about to serenade your taste
No, I
buds.
won't be comfortable. I'll stand.
Oh, you want to stand?
Oh, yeah, I'm a standing eater.
Okay,
you
just get ready.
Can
He's
I
ready
just chop
to
no
give
food?
you some really
Thank you, Chef.
hard verdicts. Okay, this is
problem.
Chef Daniel, and this morning he's made for you roasted pepper fusilli pasta.
Okay.
I know.
I saw the
Feeling
brief
a
outside.
tingle? Oh, fantastic.
I saw
great.
the brief. I saw
So,
the ingredients. I
you
saw
want to
his
add
technique.
so much?
Are you
so
allergic
much
to
cheese?
cheese?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So please have a taste. Let us know what you think.
There's pepper in
Is
the
there
soup.
enough cheese? Does it have that thing? Does it have the zang?
I'm actually, interesting note, I'm on a diet.
Oh, you are?
I'm off carbs for the next 7 months. So no carbohydrates or any form of sugar. So you're going to make me break it. So I'm not going to eat
we
much.
apologize for that. So
No, please don't apologize.
Have a taste and let us know.
Like,
On a scale of 1 to 10, give us a rating.
I'll give you a firm 9.32.
Ooh. What do you do with 2 points?
Yeah, it counts.
All right, thank you so
Let me try
much,
the chicken.
Chef. Please.
But this chicken is bloody more. Oh, I said it again.
Oh, sugar. Well cooked. Not medium rare. Just
Really moist.
calm down, man.
I prefer the chicken to the pasta.
nice, nice. Thank you so much.
Pasta
Chef
has the
Katie.
flavor and everything. The creaminess works. I would have liked it a bit more al dente, but in the studio, you can't achieve that. So
I told you guys we're going to put chopped here in Weedy. Thank you so much,
Very
Chef
good.
Katie, and thank you, Chef Daniel, for this looks good. And thank you all. Thank you to all our guests for being on the show today. Mike, any final words?
Pepper did this chicken.
And of course, we still have Mazzino on the couch. Mazzino, any words of wisdom that you'd like to sprinkle on our timeline?
Chicken, that's all.
Oh, all right, fantastic. Everyone wants to have one chicken or the other. Anyways,
No pepper.
please. Thank you to all our guests for being on the show today. And it's a wrap on the show. Thank you all. Have a fantastic day, people. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.